This is the Itel S23, and although an entry-level smartphone, it does have a couple tricks up its sleeve. Itel didn't tell me this, but the color of this phone changes. I was so surprised to see this white phone turn pink the second I walked under the sun. At this price point, you don't see stuff like this. Like, you just don't. It also comes in a black color as well, but only this white one changes color, so bear that in mind. It has a circular camera module. We don't typically see that these days. The rear is made of plastic, and although it's glossy plastic, it doesn't show too many fingerprint marks because of the white color. Yes, it's made of plastic, but you can still trick someone into believing it's glass. The rear design definitely looks premium. The front design though hasn't changed. We still have that teardrop notch in front, huge bezels, and a sizable chin at the bottom. The display is a 6.6-inch 720p LCD display with a 90Hz refresh rate. 90Hz. This is again stuff that we do not see on phones at this price point. Like, how did they manage to do this? The quality you get out of this display is very fine too. On YouTube you can watch videos in 1080p for some reason, and this might not translate well on camera, but the quality is very okay. And then when you add that higher refresh rate, it's even better. Scrolling around the UI was pretty smooth and responsive. Anyone coming from the S18 or lower would definitely notice the smoothness the second they scroll. Still can't believe they added this. So a better display this year, but still that teardrop notch. I'm sure though that most people buying this phone don't mind it as much as we do, but I'm sure they would prefer a hole punch cutout like that on the P40 Plus. Speaking of the P40 Plus, the S23 uses the same processor as that phone, the Unisoc T606. It's a chipset designed to do more faster. So just like the P40 Plus, the S23 feels fast and responsive. It is definitely the fastest Itel phone I've used alongside the P40 Plus, but that doesn't mean it won't have its limitations. The first being gaming. You can play some light games on this like Subway Surfers and other games like that, but I wouldn't buy this phone for gaming. It can also do some multitasking, like keep 2 or 3 apps open in the background, but if you keep piling up the apps, they would have to restart when you open them. It's very fine for this price category and for someone getting their first smartphone. Interestingly, there's a variant with 8GB of hardware RAM and an extra 8GB of virtual RAM. So of course, the variant with more RAM would multitask better, but they both get 128GB of storage. That's a big deal. Another big deal would be the rear camera. It's 50 megapixels. That's a lot. But it's not only about the number, right? And I would say the photos aren't bad. They're not 50 megapixel good, but they're also not bad, especially when you give it sufficient light and a subject to focus on. Now note that after you hit the shutter button, you have to wait for about 2 seconds or your photos come out blurry. Learned that the hard way. Videos aren't any better. It is expected at this price point though. But I would say footage can be somewhat usable if you're standing still or perhaps using a tripod. Cameras definitely aren't one of its strengths. Battery life though is. It has a 5000 mAh battery, and because of the not power hungry chipset, this is easily a phone that would last the entire day. The S23 goes for 66,200 or 76,400, and for that price you're getting a pretty interesting phone with that color changing back, the side mounted fingerprint reader, USB Type-C port, which actually is a first on the Itel S series, a 90Hz refresh rate display, which is like gold for this price category, up to 8GB of RAM, or 16 if we count virtual RAM. Again, never seen in this price category. The fact that it comes with all of these features and is priced this low makes it super easy to recommend, as it's a worthy upgrade from the S18. So those are my thoughts on the Itel S23. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you when you see me.